Hero's going to look to get a little cheeky. Now, Hero's not screwed by any means. This is still certainly a strong way to play. But without a lot of sentries, he's not going to have the force fields he needs to appropriately deal with these gigantic bio armies.
ForGG stopped SCV production a while back, by the way, so his army supply is absolutely incredible. It's 174 overall supply, but the SCV's been so low at this point compared to Hero.
Yeah, and
this is big. This is a big army he's building. Right now, we are about to have Thermal Lance and Storm finish. I mean, Storms, though, they have to land.
I mean, this is going to be a nightmare to deflect. This is why I love watching ForGG play. This is such a risky, such a ballsy play that demands intense unit control. And Hero!
Oh my God, he just lost all the
Stalkers. Wait, what? Is Hero's mouse failing? Where's Hero?
I don't know what just happened.
That is the slowest reaction I've ever seen Hero try to pull off. Ground units swarming in. The Vikings going to. That's done. ForGG decimates Hero. What happened, Hero?
This is just a completely one-sided game. Look at this. He builds an army, he kills his opponent. It's as simple as that. And now down goes the Nexus. There's no units here. Another Colossus falls. Perfect timing by ForGG.
That has got to be the most flawless-looking TVP we have seen at this level in just months. I almost said years, but the game hasn't even been out years. I mean, this was just stunning. Hero completely folds in on himself. Good game.
Wow, ForGG even has a couple of Guild fans screaming his name. What a game from him. What an opener. What an opener. So aggressive. So heavy. Never even had it in his mind to get a Ghost Academy and start to increase his overall value in the later stages. Went for a kill and strike in the mid-game and got it easily.
Yeah, I mean, to emphasize how unusual that is, that attack was nothing but 1-0 units. Just a +1 attack, and that's it.
Yeah. I mean, he had +1 armor on the way as well as +1 plating, but he didn't even have that by then. He just went in, took the game easily. Wow, well, I mean, let's put it out there. If ForGG does the same again, depending on the map, what does Hero do? What does he need to do?
Well, I mean, there's weird mixes that you just don't think about very much anymore. Things like Zealot Archon with fewer Archons and lots more sentries. Very good against Marauder-heavy compositions. Doing things like, well, sentries with Colossus with a lot of force fields. Trying to, hell, even have some buildings in positions to do spotting and do choke blocking. I mean, in truth, that was just an amazing metagame play from ForGG at such a deep level. It's one thing to say, I think you're going to go command center first, and then to do a proxy gateway. But it's another thing altogether to say, well, how are Protoss playing? Protoss are relying on Colossus, upgrades, and Templar, and not on gateway units. So ForGG masses the Marauder. A weird unit. Everyone keeps thinking higher tech. He's going more towards the low to the mid, big numbers. What do you do if you have just a couple sentries, a couple zealots, and even 3 Colossus? You'll get destroyed by that many Marauders. You will get wrecked. You don't even really need that many Vikings. You just need medevacs at that point.
Yeah, I think the switch over to Templar, that's when this timing hits the perfect amount, because it doesn't matter if you have 2, 3, 4 Storms. The amount of units that ForGG has, you aren't going to hit them well, and then you're just left with nothing. But it's time to jump into the next map, Day 9, to find out if Hero can come back.
You more or less need 3 Storms to be able to take out a Marauder. With Marines, it's 1.
All right, well, Hero's been put in a pressureful situation at this point. Remember, the Hero has never actually made it to a final.
Look at his hands shaking. Unbelievable.
He's never made it to a finals in Korea before. He's won all his tournaments internationally. He's never had the best results here in Korea. But today's his chance to show. This weekend's his chance to show for sure. And already starting to see emotions coming out of Hero.
Look at his fingers just quivering, man. That is, I mean, you know, I think one of the best glimpses into Hero Psyche was at the DreamHack. Was it DreamHack winner 2011? That's right.
Yep.
First DreamHack he ever won over Puma, barely, 4-3, and they had the heart rate monitors. Puma stayed at 90 the entire time. Smooth as could be. Hero was regularly up to 140, 150. I mean, if you were on a brisk run for quite some time, that's when you get up to that level of heart rate. But I mean, he's pounding as he's in those games. That is the sort of intensity the hero brings to his matches.
He does, and it's because in all honesty, from talking to his management team, it's all about not disappointing his fans, and he feels that pressure build up within him, because once he loses a game, it's starting to happen. But in the WCS America Finals, he did drop the first 2 games to come back to win 4-2. So despite the pressure building up, he's able to conquer it. But can he do it in Korea, a place that he's never done that well compared to outside of Korea?
It's kind of interesting to note that these 2 players, ForGG and Hero, are the foreigner Koreans of the group. They're the ones that tend to be focused more on the non-Korean tournaments. And I think most people would heavily favor Hero versus ForGG in this series. But this is the exact sort of aggression that if you've ever watched ForGG stream, he does this so many times, these Marauder-based overwhelming plays.
All right, finally into the game. Up here, of course, from Team Liquid, the blue Protoss. Let's see if he can come back. As, of course, Liquid Hero talking to himself on screen.
Is he in this game? Okay. I wasn't seeing him build his next probe. I got scared. Of course, in the bottom right, there's the man himself who's currently leading the series 1-0. It is ForGG.
Super solid first game here by ForGG. Does he have enough to change things around, or does he play out the same again? Hello, audience. You can't hear us, though. Not you two, anyway.
But I know some of you can. Can you wave to us if you can hear us? It just makes me feel at home. Maybe there's a delay.
Maybe.
No.
Maybe they don't want to.
No one can hear us. We're alone up here, Apollo.
All right, so game number 2 will wins. ForGG and Hero. ForGG having a pretty decent run in WCS EU. A very decent run. Was eventually toppled by Stefano in the semifinals. Hero aced WCS America. He did drop a couple of maps, but he's the winner. He is Captain America, playing in Korea today. I really didn't expect ForGG to come out like that in game number 1.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of these unusual things about ForGG where a lot of times these timing attacks look like the most brilliant thing you've ever seen, and the other half of the time they look like the absolute dumbest, most poorly planned attack. There's a lot of variance and a lot of randomness in how the games end up panning out for ForGG. Now, this looks like a weird, funky timing that we're seeing out of Hero, but it is intentional. He's going to throw down the gateway, immediately follow up with the Nexus, and everything will be timed out so that way, right when the gateway finishes, you'll have enough for the cybernetics core and whatnot.
Overall, Hero's win percentage against Terran has dropped a little bit in Heart of the Swarm compared to Wings Liberty. It was up to about 61% in Wings Liberty, which is pretty good. In Heart of the Swarm, though, it is down to 52%. Wow, ForGG, on the other hand. What's wrong?
No, I was just wowing at the drop.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, ForGG, on the other hand.
I responded positively to what you said. You're like, whoa. Oh, don't.
Can I hit you with ForGGs?
Lay it on me.
It was 54% in Wings Liberty, but it has gone up to 65, sorry.
You know,
starting to spike up.
Keeping over a 60% win rate is a substantial number, because when you think about the fact that these players are playing best of X's, the individual win percentage, the difference between a 55 and a 65, might seem like a minute difference, but the instant it becomes a best of 3. I mean, I was looking at some just general data. If you have like a 65% win rate in a regular match, your win rate in the best of 5 becomes 85%.
Wow.
I mean, it's these sorts of numbers that you start to understand why people can have that level of consistency.
Luckily for Hero, he did manage to scout south side, not to the west, so he was able to get in there before Marines are pumping out, so he saw the command center first and also the addition of the couple of barracks there. So he knows what he's playing against. He's got an earlier Nexus of his own, but ForGG hasn't scouted. He's got no idea. Oh, actually, sorry, I take that back. He has just got an SCV into the main base of Hero, just about. There it is.
And there's a Stalker correspondingly popping out. This is one of these situations where I really want to see, I really want to see the Stargate go down. I mean, this, I think, is the perfect thing to do in this spot. Because when you see your opponent go for command center first, 99% of the time, going to be the 3 barracks follow-up, or some number more of barracks follow-up. Not going to be factory, not going to be any of those Hellion mine type things. This means that the Oracle definitely is going to have a lot of utility early on.
So Hero's going to try and get in there with this Oracle, and to be honest, is ForGG going to scan, and is he going to scan there? Probably not. Is he going to build a turret in the main base? You know, again, probably not. That wasn't a part of his build last time. Why would he just randomly include it this time? So this could be pretty devastating for ForGG if the Oracle's able to get in to the mineral line and pull some of these SCV lives away.
Well, I mean, given how much people have seen of typical Wings of Liberty, Terran vs. Protoss, everything from ForGG is going to be pretty expected. Engineering Bay and Factory are going to pop down at about the same time, and then Medivacs and etc. But what we're seeing out of Hero, rather unusual early Nexus, but we also saw both his gases go down at 545. In all the other games we've looked at today with Protoss, it has been closer to 715. This means that there's going to be the ability to get earlier forges, earlier robos, earlier all sorts of good stuff with gas. So Hero, his strength is really in his versatility in these sorts of situations, and we see the second Oracle getting ready to pop out. There's the 2 Stalkers getting ready to harass that side. I think he might just go Stalker pressure at the front with Oracles.
Does he have enough to break that down with just 1 Oracle at this point? He's heading towards the main base. There's only 2 Marines there.
He's going to annihilate those immediately.
Yeah, he's going straight for the SCV line, just completely ignoring those 2 Marines. And, well, SCVs are going to die. How many are going to die?
There it is.
Though?
Oh, no. ForGG thought it was a hallucination. A great play from Hero based upon his hallucinated Oracle in game 1.
Yeah, that's actually a really good point there. And SCVs have gone down. This has got a couple of kills already. Another Marine's going to fall. Remember, there's a second Oracle behind this. The Robo has come down too. And Hero manages to pick off a few SCVs and takes a supply lead in this game by 9.
Wow. Now, there are 3 Stalkers getting morphed into the front. This is a very, very risky, very dangerous play. ForGG correctly responded swiftly. Oh my god, what's happening at the natural? Oh my god, there's an Oracle at the natural expansion that's about to die. Ah!
Well, is he going to get out with it? He's a little bit stuck. So Hero's in trouble. The second Oracle is going to fall down. He may be able to bring some... Oh! He puts down Revelation onto the natural before he does fall. But so far, so good from Hero. He does have the Robotics Bay and double Forges coming in. That's that extra earlier gas being put to use here. 3 Sentries getting warped in. The Robo Bay coming down as well. Lots of options through all this gas. But do you think he's done sufficient enough damage? Oh, look at that, a 62 supply book for ForGG. Having put a bit of pressure on with these Oracles, forced a mistake out too.
You know, I feel like Hero should not have warped in those 3 Stalkers at the natural expansion. I think that was a little bit too greedy. These sorts of pressures are nice. Looks like the mines that have been constructed. Ooh, a little bit of a misstep there by Hero. I think those, yeah, I just think it delayed the upgrades too much.
All right, well, 1-1 is coming down eventually. 3 Sentries, 3 Zealots at home. We have 5 Stalkers out in the map, but a drop's coming in. I think there's a couple of mines loaded into that. There is an Observer, 2 Observers on the natural, so Hero's not in the worst position while he's trying to get over to his Colossus. As this drop heads its way to the natural here, where is the Observer going to go, though? Still there.
Well, it looks like he's going straight for the Twilight Council and the 3rd base. Pretty expectable in this position. There's the Mothership Core. Oh, no! Oh, no! Oh! As good an answer as he could have done in that position, but second would have... Oh, Hero, what's happening? Hero's lack of focus completely catching me off guard. I've never seen Hero botch these sorts of defenses in this way.
Yeah, I mean, he's been able to clear it up, but he has taken quite a lot of damage, especially more so than what we saw earlier by the Oracles. Now there's an attack coming in. Oh no!
Oh, the Stalkers! The Stalkers are in the worst position!
Oh,
Hero! No!
ForGG, what is he doing in this game? The Photon Overcharge comes down as well as Time Warp. A Colossus pops out last minute, but he can easily pick up and swing around to the left-hand side.
This is just a shocking crumble from Hero. Never makes these types of mistakes in other tournament situations, but here is making multiple surprising mistakes back to back to back to back to back. Does manage to pick off the Widow Mine before it does another detonation, but loses 1 Stalker, might lose a second one here. And it's only a matter of time before ForGG scouts that expansion, and it doesn't get canceled.
All right, well, he's going to drop onto it. He's going to pick it up. It's now or never for the Team Liquid Superstar to pull out his ace card here, because the Nexus is going to fall. He's going to try and keep it alive. Oh, it's going to be close.
He's going to do his best. He's going to try to bring that Colossus up, but
no, it's surely he's going to fall, and it does go down, and ForGG takes another step in the right direction to a 2-0 victory at this point. Hero is feeling the pressure. He's supply blocked here. He's got no pylon on the way, or he just has now. Sorry, a pylon coming down, another one.
Wow, well, see, this is the rough situation. We're going to see ForGG exploit very, very well. 2-2 can be the next follow-up step for ForGG. Completely reasonable follow-up step. But we're also going to be seeing, out of that armory, we're going to be seeing a lot of Hellbats get produced. It's a great way to deal with the possibility of just a speed Zealot Colossus all-in. lot of barracks being added on. I would not be surprised to see the big flood of tech labs. I mean, Hero, I have never seen him misplay to this degree.
Yeah, 7 supply deep. I mean, 7 barracks coming down. ForGG a little bit supply blocked again at 121, with 4 supply depots coming down. So that will slow him down a little bit, allowing Hero the potential to catch up in this game. But remember, you know, ForGG didn't grab such an early third base in this game, was allowed himself to do a bit of pressure and a bit of damage. ForGG
Yeah, I mean,
still with the lead, though, for sure.
I mean, that is true. I mean, for as much as Hero seems to be doing uncharacteristic fumbles, it's pretty traditional for the Terran to be ahead and supply and that sort of thing. Oh, what a breath of fresh air for Hero, getting the chance to have ForGG be the one that makes the mistake. And now it looks like it's going to be Storm Drops swinging in for Hero.
Let's see how much damage he can do. Not too many SCVs on the third. Hero's going to need to do some damage for sure.
And
there we go. Oh, it's just Zealots.
Oh, just Zealots, okay.
Picking off a couple of the reactors, slowing down the production of ForGG. A couple more do get warped in. Oh, he's going to get that engineering bay. Nothing being researched from it, but still, he's going to have to rebuild that. He's going to try and repair it.
It's sort of an unusual exchange here to sort of sacrifice for the building that isn't doing anything at this point in time. Yeah, reminds ForGG that he should be researching out of it, so there he starts it.
Hero, you know, not too far behind here. He does have 2-2 on the way, and he has Storm. There's no Ghost whatsoever. So perfect Storms are going to be crucial.
But I mean, you look at ForGG's third command center placement. Almost all Terrans would be taking that southern expansion, but ForGG wants to attack. He's trying to align his expansion so that way he can rally straight to the Expo and then just continue to drive up. The problem is that Hero does have some counterattack pylons playing out along the bottom left side, so those could, in the future, cause some issues, but for now, I think ForGG is in completely fine shape. Hero's got to be a defensive man.
Hero's already adding on an Immortal to start to deal with this very heavy Marauder composition. He has 2 High Templar there, and 2 on that left-hand side as well, or 3, sorry. So there's quite a lot of Storm available. He's going to have to make sure he hits it. Colossus not going to be too valuable here.
Uh-oh. Here come in the critical storms, and Hero! What is going on? Sacrifices 2 Templar, flying them directly into the main lines. 2 out of position Time Wars with no units there to exploit them. Colossus comes out, some storms show up, but the Vikings happily gobble up all those hits, and Hero is on the ropes. 2-2 upgrades just now finishing.
Just now finishing. Is he going to have enough reinforcements to coin 1 storm there? He's got a lot of Zealots at the south side. Is Hero going to hold on?
Oh, it's going to be so close if Hero holds this off. Oh my god, I think Hero's actually going to be able to barely stay alive.
Yeah, look at that, 89 supply to 97. He's only got a couple of units there, and Hero manages to survive for now, but he doesn't have any probes minded on that third base.
God, what a gift.
Just now getting Thermal Lance and Colossus down. There's going to be another wave from ForGG as soon as that 2-2 completes, especially with that +1 armor.
He only has 1 barracks with a reactor. Everything else is Tech Lab. He is making 6 of those Marauders at a time.
Well, these Zealots with charge are going to be quite good against that, but there are quite a lot of Hellbats. It's mostly Hellbat Marauder. Of course, Immortal's quite good in this situation, but Hero is switching over to Colossus with Thermal Lance about to complete. 3 High Templar there. As he warps in 4 more. Is Hero going for this attack?
I think he's just going to dart in.
Yeah,
confused a little bit, and then get those guys in. Similar to what we saw Alicia do to MVP.
All right, well, let's have a look. There's not too many units there, and ForGG's going to move down to have a look. Hero's got to be careful.
Uh-oh. One of the Templar falls. Zealots primarily eat the storm.
Counterattack coming in. As Hero manages to escape with those units, 4 Zealots make their way to the natural here. So ForGG's going to have to deal with this, and they're going to get a lot of SCVs.
Well, looks like ForGG has decided not to do anything quite yet. Leaves the SCVs just mining. Doesn't move them too much. Supplies very even, but I mean, ForGG is getting such a beefy mix. I mean, there's not even an attempt to get Ghost at any point. It's just pure Marauder Hellbat.
It's just a single cost at this moment. Another one's coming down. The pylons have been found, though, so no more counterattacks available for Hero as ForGG starts to clean these up. Hero starting, I mean, no, he didn't. Okay, there it is. 3-3 on the way, or just about +3 attack, +3 armor. Not yet, he can't quite afford it. As he chrono boosts that +3 attack out, though. So where do you think, who's winning this game? Where are we?
Well, what's going to happen is ForGG needs to do a timing push probably within the next 90 seconds. So that would be before the 21-minute mark. Hero has a couple of units positioned around some likely attack paths. The section at the right, and of course controls the middle. He needs to get a couple of good storms, and then he'll be in comfortable shape. But Hero is stuck between a rock and a hard place. He knows that he's going to be up against a lot of Hellbats, so he's going to have to start making more of those Stalkers. Yeah. But at the same time, he wants to have the gas to be able to get that plus attack upgrade.
That's such a strong army from ForGG. I really question if Hero's got enough to deal with it.
It's all going to come down to good storms at this point. I don't think... Oh, and he loses another Templar for nothing!
All right, well, 2 High Templar there do remain. A couple of Colossus, not too many Colossus. ForGG's going to go to the high ground. 2 High Templar.
Where's the storms? Where's the storms? Where are the storms? Hero, where are they? Hero doing just shocking mistake after shocking mistake. The only reason that could have been happening is if they didn't have enough energy, but he's been having Templar morphed in everywhere for so long. The storms dealing massive damage, but ForGG doing the push right before that 21-minute mark, and it looks like Hero is just in horrendous shape yet again.
ForGG looking absolutely fantastic in this series. Game 1 was completely one-sided, and Game 2 is dominating. Another counterattacks managed, 2 Zealots managed to get their way to the mineral line, but it's not going to be enough. With 3-3 closing in for ForGG, taking out the third base of Hero. Hero is in a disastrous position, not a good start to his season finals.
Fortunately, he doesn't have to be very careful with those High Templar, given the fact that they have no ghosts coming in there, so he has some excellent storms connecting with everything. He has 2 Templar back in the main that are at nearly full energy. If he can remember those, it might be enough. But ForGG with the rally into the main base, the 2 Templar at the back starting to make their way down, it looks like. Can they get them to the front lines?
I don't know, I don't think so. It looks like ForGG's 150 supply to 71. A Colossus comes out of nowhere, but there's enough Vikings. ForGG, what a great start to his Season 1 Grand Finals as he comes in, cleaning up the last Colossus. A couple of storms come down here, but it's not going to be enough.
What a shocker. Hero. The absolute crumble. I mean, ForGG played an absolutely brilliant style. Can Hero go toe-to-toe with it? Completely unclear. The number of mistakes that were made in key positions were just too much.
An excellent series from ForGG, really bringing the heat, representing Europe here today, finishing in 3rd and 4th place in WCS EU, but in the Season 1 Finals, oh boy, he's looking good.
Oh yeah. That does mean that he will go on to face the winner of Symbol versus SOS, a match that I'm personally absolutely thrilled to see. SOS versus anybody is always interesting.
Yeah, that's going to be a great series, and that's going to be our next match coming up in Group C. And well, what a fantastic start to Group C.
Yeah, I mean, we're getting the chance to see some really unusual, really interesting styles. Right now, this is actually, wow, this is Group B that is yet to even complete. Group D has not even started, Apollo.
Yeah, it's going to be a long day on stream too, as MVP and KangHo go the distance in this final map on Akalon Way. Swarm host play against Mech.
You know,
but MVP's looking in pretty good shape here. 4 bases versus 4-ish. 5th just about to get up.
Yeah, once again, for any of you who are just tuning in, wondering what happened so swiftly, we have 4 groups running. Groups A and B were played first, and Diapol and I are just starting off on Group C. Group D, of course, will be going on the other stream, except for the fact that Group B is not even done. Every single best of 3 in that group was 2-1. Were very, very long games. And KangHo, I think, is surprising a lot of people by being inches away from advancing out of the group, a group that everyone thought MVP would be first in. Alicia, instead, is the first place player.
Yeah, Alicia, surprising many. Interesting to see how this game's going to plan out. That's such a strong army from MVP there. Can pretty much deal with anything while dropping at the same time.
Yep. Pretty conservative base count from KangHo.
Quite bad upgrades though. Like I mean, he will be there soon, but 2-2-2 coming in. MVP's already at 2-2 with +3 on the way with lots more command centers.
And I mean, given the fact that we're at the 17-minute mark, I wouldn't be surprised if KangHo did some sort of 2-base roach pressure, maybe 3-base roach pressure to start the game off. That could really be the only explanation for why things are just so late for him.
Yeah, really good drops here by MVP. That's something that he's so good at when playing Mech, is that yes, he establishes a great army and then continues to drop until he's ready to attack, and this could actually be the final push of the game.
Wow, that is a lot of units making their way forward. 13 roaches en route. MVP pulling the defenses of KangHo slowly down, much like a gorilla would peel a banana. Just peeling a little defensive line off here and there. Drops, just stealing those units away.
Well, this is really nice micro from KangHo with the Swarm Host, just sending in the Locust, then backing up, sending another wave, backing up. And he is gaining ground because he's got 2-2 about to complete as well for these Locusts.
Yeah,
and
so
nice.
nice.
He's going for a counterattack at the same time.
Yeah, he forced the tanks to siege up. The Roaches swing around once the tanks feel like they can't unsiege.
Ooh, that's really nice by KangHo. Actually, really, really nice. Can he break through anywhere, though, is the question.
Well, it looks like he can easily just swing around to the 4th base at this point in time. Oh, that Mutalisk is not very good against the 4th! Oh, there it is.
Yeah, that's nice.
Reinforcements.
That's really nice here. And great micro again. Keeping these Swarm Hosts alive, retreating, sending out another wave, retreating. MVP's really up against it, especially if those Roaches and Lings do great counterattack damage.
Right now, I mean, MVP has essentially cloistered himself in this final push mode. He must win with this push because these Roaches are totally dead. He doesn't have to win with this push. He can easily reinforce now.
Lucira is in a bit of trouble by the looks of it.
Oh my god, especially with that camera work. Whenever your opponent does the doom zoom, you know something's about to be concerned. But look at this, 21 Mutalisks in production.
Oh my gosh. Oh, 22, that's a big switch.
He's going to spread those out. You know, Mutalisk, Roach, so effective when you switch back and forth between them against mech. It's so hard to have the proper composition.
All right, well, here comes the switch, and oh my god, MVP's going to be like, what?
Oh my god. KangHo starting to throw. Oh my god.
He's going to try and repair these Thors, I think.
That's the only thing he can do. He's got to keep them spread. Oh no, they're not repairing. They're not repairing. Oh my god, what a stunning transition from KangHo.
Yeah, he's still down
Who
in supply.
does that? That's genius. So smart. I don't care if Thor is counter Mutalisks in the menu. I am KangHo.
And now he has Broodlords on top of this as well. This is super cool to see. I did see MVP throw down a lot of extra starports. We'll see what he can do, get some actually air out here. Ravens, Vikings, you name it. Lots of turrets coming down. He's panicking, man.
This is the reason why mech is so strong on this map. You got surprise Mutalisk, no problem. Throw down turrets, 4 bases, easily defendable with this defensive setup.
Yeah, great look at the turrets.
No, you don't need to kill the Viking that badly.
A lot of Broodlords coming in, but a lot of Vikings are being made. So like Viking Thor is great against Mutalisk and Broodlords. So this is an interesting choice to go Broodlords at this point. Because what happens if he spends all his money on Broodlords and there's just too many Vikings and Thors?
More Mutalisks.
So, all right, I don't know how this is going to work out for KangHo. MVP is going to take a 5th, and if he gets a 5th, his money is just never going to stop coming in. And he'll be always able to keep producing units. But he did do a really good job picking off the 5th base in the bottom left. That's kind of important, actually.
Very interesting position in this game. Very unusual. Really indicative of how all the other games went in Group B as well. Getting a little bit far forward.
I still think MVP's army is too strong.
Guys.
The combination of Thors and Vikings, he pulls the Vikings back while the Thors do more damage, and SCV's repairing too.
Oh, with the SCVs there, I think that's going to be way too much. KangHo's supply tumbles down. MVP, the king of wings.
Lucira knows. He knows. That's just I mean, the Broodlord, as well as the Mutalisk switch, I think that he should have gone back over to Roaches or something at that point.
Yeah.
I just don't think the Broodlord switch with Mutalisk is the best idea.
Broodlord's traditionally quite weak against strong mech players. I mean, Viking, Thor, repair, and then you have the tanks and the Hellbats on the ground to rip down any amount of those Broodlings. I mean, here comes MVP. Stable as can be.
No Mutalisk even left. It's just Roaches at this point, and it may be too late. These tanks are siege up, and KangHo's going to lose everything. He's down to 100 supply. Oh, MVP's going to go through a 2nd place.
And there's the good game MVP. Deservedly so.
Moves on to the round of 8, day 9, to the quarterfinals.
Oh, quarterfinals.
Congratulations to MVP. He'll be playing again tomorrow. Unfortunately for Lucira, he's had a fantastic season though. Sprung out from nowhere. Last year he really was in and out of Code A, and that was it. He never went past round 1 of Code A. But this season, 2013 WCS, he played well.
Oh yeah, all the way to the top 5 of WCS Korea, and now here. Is eliminated, but is eliminated in the 9th to 12th place spot. So still very, very nicely done. But MVP advances something I think a lot of people expected, but not in second place in that group. Alicia was the one who won.
Yeah, Alicia picks up a great win, but we need to focus back on Group C again, because our next game coming up is going to be SOS versus Symbol.
Yeah, that's going to be a very, very exciting match. Symbol, a little bit more of a traditional Zerg, absolutely fierce regardless, but the important thing is that SOS has been shocking everyone with crazy builds in Pro League, had an amazing